Welcome to Calypso Kitchen. My name is Sarah. Calypso Kitchen is based in Bellingham, Washington. I am a Caribbean native, born and grew up in Trinidad and Tobago, and currently based in Bellingham, Washington. Today I'm going to share a little recipe with you. I'm going to share a recipe that is actually on my product list on my website at calypso.kitchen. So we're doing a fire roasted tomato choker today. So we are using some tomatoes, some garlic, some peppers, onions. We're using some oil, some roasted cumin seeds. And right here I have my roasted pepper, roasted garlic. We're using pink Himalayan salt. And the onions, I've simply slivered them on a mandolin to get them nice and thin. This is a recipe that I grew up with watching my grandma make back home. And basically she roasted her tomatoes, garlic and peppers over an open fireside. Basically what you get is that lovely, smoky, caramelized depth in flavors coming out of your vegetable and the other ingredients. Today I used a whole clove of garlic with the peel on it still. If you wanted to, for the sake of making it really easy, just peel your cloves and roast them already peeled so you don't have to go through the hassle of peeling it while it's already blackened and roasted. But basically, here are our tomatoes. Really nice juicy tomatoes that have been roasted. They're really hot. When you're at home and you're making this, you don't necessarily have to have a pair of gloves on if you don't want them on. And basically what you're going to try to do is not squeeze these tomatoes because you don't want to squeeze out the juice, which is really a very big part of this. So I'm holding it over the dish that I'm going to actually make it in, and I'm just peeling the blackened skin gently off of it. There's our roasted pepper, and here's a clove of our roasted garlic, and that's what you do. You just continue peeling. Don't worry about it if there's a little bit of that blackened skin left over. My grandma always said that that's a little bit of flavor that you're leaving in it. So after the tomatoes are roasted, she would peel them and put them in a mortar and pestle and crush them. That's a little bit labor intensive and something I don't have a whole lot of time to do, and maybe you mightn't have that time to do that either. So what I've discovered is my little immersion blender. I use this immersion blender. I peel my tomatoes, my garlic, my peppers. I put them into a little dish like this one, and I'd use my immersion blender and quickly give it a couple zips. I like my tomato choker to be a little bit on the chunkier side, so I don't zip it too much. So after I've zipped my tomatoes a couple times, once those 3 ingredients are in your dish, you are then going to layer on your slivered onions on that. You're going to add some salt to this, and then lastly you are going to use your roasted cumin and put that on top of it. In a saucepan, we'll put some oil to get heated up. We're going to get that oil really, really nice and hot. So this is a little trick that my grandma taught me, just to know that your oil is at the right temperature. So you put a couple slivers of onions in the pan, and as long as those onions turn really nice and brown and crispy, then you know your oil is hot enough and it's ready for you to pour on top of your roasted tomato choker dish. So we're just waiting for that to get really nice and brown. And that's just about where we want it to be, and that is perfect. And what you're doing now is you are taking that hot oil and you're pouring it on top of all those ingredients. So this is a little bit dynamic. It's certainly something that I loved watching my grandma do. At this point in time, we are adding our hot oil on the surface of this dish, on top of our roasted cumin and our garlic, onions, pepper. And there you go. It now wakes up all the spices and flavors out of that cumin and that onion that's on the surface of your dish. You quickly give it a stir and cover your dish. Allow it to stay covered for a few minutes just to allow that moisture and all those aromas to stay in the dish. Make sure you have enough salt and pepper in there, and perfect. A fire roasted tomato choker is such a versatile dish. Use it as a dip with your grilled cheese. Use it as a dip with your favorite corn chips. Put it on your pita bread. One of my favorite small businesses in Bellingham, Washington is Salt, Pepper and Oil. I might be a little bit biased because we share the same kitchen. However, Salt, Pepper and Oil makes the best pelmenis out here. We're using some potato pelmenis today, and we're gonna have some roasted tomato choke on it. This is just one of the ways that you can use our fire roasted tomato choker, support a small business here in Bellingham, and support another small business in Bellingham by purchasing their pelmenis. So one of my favorite dishes is having fire roasted tomato choker on top of my potato pelmenis. Doesn't that look beautiful? Thank you very much for joining me at Calypso Kitchen once more. If you like what you see, please go to my YouTube channel, like and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook or Instagram. I do have a website as well, calypso.kitchen. Go on there, look at my weekly menu. The menu changes every week. On Wednesday, you can take a look at what's going to be on there for the next week. Salt, pepper, and oil. Take a look at what they have as well. They also offer a weekly menu. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you here again next time.